And good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon, wherever you are. And welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Bob. Hi, I am he, your sensei, your griot, here to tell you a story. So, I'm thinking about justice. And there's cosmic justice. And then there is and some people call that social justice. And then there's like, business or corporate or established. And what that is, basically, it is a thing that people talk about. It's a level playing field. Right? And in actuality, it never is. That level playing field, someone always has their thumb on the scale. And sweetie, could I have a glass of water with lemon? So that's where it is. That's what it is. And so cosmic justice or social justice means that in a perfect world, everyone would get along, love each other, and everyone would have enough. And how do you get that? Right? You usually have to have some kind of, what's his name said. Oh, thank you, dear. And a straw? We got one? Oh, yeah. The guy who defined the big monster, the social monster that keeps everyone in line. Thank you, dear. You can tell I'm a good boy unless I lick the plate. So, what was that guy's name? He's the guy who invented the prison that was circular so everyone could watch each other and keep everyone in line. When I finish this, I'll remember all those guys' names and things and terms. But, you need a higher authority amongst everyone who give us social justice, right? And the federal government kind of tries to do it, but still, they're home. We had the best legislators money can buy, right? And so that is the problem. That is the story. That is what is that authority? And I say that authority is love. When people love themselves first and then loves their brothers, it's one of Jesus' teachings. But that was, God, the burning bush gave that to Moses as, I think, the second commandment. Love your brother as yourself. And that's the authority, right? And, what do you think about that?
I'll bring it.
Okay. So anyway, and every day and every way, we take the piece of the earth and make it stronger. See, if we did that, it'd be an all right world. So what is going on in the world around us? Same as it ever was. There's no big mystery, etc., etc. Oh, thank you, Darren. And could you splash some stuff?
I'll bring it in.
Okay, and the cake in the thing. What is the round one there? Should not listen. Passive aggressive. Pretty much everyone's gone, and she still has to wait 2 hours to get off. Right, so instead of cleaning the place up or doing this, she's like walking around kicking the chairs. And so I worked for Ralph Nader, a New York Public Interest Research Group. Yeah. And what is the round cake there?
Apple roll.
Wow, a slice of that. Find the biggest one you got and you give it to me. Let's see how well she does. And so you gotta, So I splurged yesterday. And thank you, dear. Instead of putting it on a plate. Better than intimate. But the thing is, not to gobble the whole thing down. Just eat half. Then the other half for later. Then it's like having 2 slices. There's this guy who defines justice much better than I do. He is it's called equity versus equality, right? Equity is the scale with someone's finger on it. Equality is where everyone gets what they need. Now, when Marx wrote Das Kapital, that's what he was trying to define as communism. And that was like the switching places. The people who had the capital became the state, right? The state owned everything. The people did. And the people in the Politburo was the state, not the people. They were the coals. Oh, there's everyone. Yeah, okay. So this guy is after school, right? Well, oh, that's great. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Oh, it's a beautiful day. I thought my car was dead, but it only needed a little something, and now it's running like a teenager. Yeah. So how's by you? Yep. Good. Busy is good. Oh, happy birthday. So you're an Aquarian too? Pisces, you're right on the cusp. Oh, that's fun. That's why we get along. Oh, good. Oh, good. So have you looked at the website of the Airbnb near me? Have you checked out the Airbnb that's nearby me? Instead of going to Asheville, come and visit. Stay in that nice Airbnb. Really? Oh, really? Because he could just, those things just have these little clips that go onto the hung ceiling. You don't have to do anything. Clip them on there. Right? Huh. Well, that's good that your landlord is responsive. Yep. That's good. Okay. And how's you and your sweetie doing? Good. Have you what did you do in Asheville? Did you go hear music or just hang out? Yep. Right. Good. Well, maybe in a week or so I'll come down the hill on the next day that I'm not doing anything, and it's this beautiful. I'll give you a buzz and come and visit. So have you got your bedroom all together? Okay. You got plenty of time, no problem. Yep, yep, exactly. Don't do anything to pressure you out of the way. Well, that sounds all good. I was away for a few weeks, and then I came back about a week and a half, and I just wanted to check in, see how you're doing. And I'm at a place where I have a phone signal. You know, when I'm up in the deep green, often I don't have a signal. So that's the story. And what else? Anything else interesting or you're thinking about? Need perspective on? Well, it sounds like you're doing good, and that's great. I mean, if those are the only complaints you have, you're doing a lot better than 98% of everybody else. Right? Right? Right. 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 And because X-rays these days are digital, meaning they're really not doing anything except putting your head in a machine and pushing a button. So it's not like they have a dark room and have to do all of that. It's totally digital. And you know, I have to see a doctor quite often, and And luckily, I know what's wrong with me. I know what's up, and I can like I don't know if I told you, but when I got back, my doctor before he quit sent me to get some ultrasounds because I hadn't had any under his watch, so he sent me off to do it. And I went in there, and they had coded me wrong, and they said, "Well, you're in here for bypass surgery." And I said, "What?" He said, "Oh yeah, because when I went to the front desk and I checked in, they put a little bracelet on me with a UPS code, and basically they coded it wrong down there. It said I was supposed to have open heart surgery. I said, "Wait, are you nuts?" I said, "So did you do this test?" And they look on it, "No." "Did you do this test?" "No." "Did you do this test?" "No." And I said, "Then how do you know I need heart surgery if you haven't done the major tests you have to do to determine this?" And the guy said, "Well, I'm the doctor." I said, "No, you are a jerk off." And he stormed out, and then the bureaucrat came and said, "No, you need to have heart surgery." I said, "No, we don't. What I'm going to do, you got me in this nice bed. I'm going to stay here forever. I mean, you just gave me lunch. How can I have surgery if you just gave me lunch?" And they go, and then the bureaucrat ran out. And then the lady who was a technician, she had been fooling around with the coding machines. "Oh, here's a mistake," and she fixed it and then did the proper procedure. But you mean if I was an old person who didn't know anything, I would have let them do heart surgery so they could have made $300 grand and I would have died. So at my age, unless I need it, I'm not getting anything. So and most people don't do that. So it's good on you, buddy, to say, "No, I'll go find another guy." Right. Right. Yeah, right. And meaning the X-ray is only to be used to see something that you can't see, and virtually anything that's wrong with your mouth that you can't see is going to represent in something you can see. Right? So if you can't see the thing you can see, then you don't need to have something that's not there to be looked at. Right. 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 Well, you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. Yeah. Yeah, right, exactly. Well, I'm going to let you go to get back to fixing whatever you were fixing. I just wanted to check in, and your mouth is in one piece. And what this is, you'll find a better dentist. Right, exactly. Okay, handsome. Good hearing your voice, and I'll drop by. Like I said, next day that is as beautiful as this, and I got nothing to do. I'll talk to because I can see what day it's going to be a couple days ahead of time, and pretty much during the week at work, it's pretty much the same thing. It's not like you're really doing anything different. It's not like you're in a rush or doing anything. But I'll definitely call you before I come and visit, and so I look forward to seeing you next time. Uh-huh. Yeah, and it's a lot closer than, and you come here, and whether you stay at the Whoopi place, it's still, I'm only 18 miles to Boone, so it's not like it's a lot closer than Asheville if you were going to do a round trip. But see, next time we talk, or next time I come visit you, we can look at your laptop and try to find a place and see about it. Because it's a really nice place. You spend the evening there. Then I could take you to Johnson City, because if you like Asheville, you'll really like Johnson City, because Johnson City actually has more interesting restaurants and places for music than actually Asheville does, because Asheville is so sucked into the hipster scene, and that's what it plays to. And it's way more expensive too. So anyway, so I look, it's still winter. I mean, last Thursday and Friday was 85 degrees up here. It's like all the flowers are coming out, and it's still February. It's like, okay. Oh, it will kind of go back, but not really back. I mean, we may have one big storm where it's whoop-de-doo, but then that'll be it. Yeah. I mean, look at California, Southern California. I have friends who've never seen snow, had a foot of snow. You know? Yeah. Well, that's the thing about snow. It brings mud. Snow equals mud. Okay, handsome. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, no, that was fine. I call you, you call back, and that's great. And I call you, you don't call back, it's no problem. Yeah. I know the drill. Love you, buddy. Get you there. So that's one of my adepts who, he's 24, and he's when I met him, he was just starting a job at a phone store. He's a really smart guy, right? And he had been fooling around with phones since he was a little kid. So he was good at it by the time he really got a job doing it. And they were only paying him like $8 an hour, right? And I met him because when I had breakfast, it was right next to that thing, and I came in and said, my computer just did this. And he went, and oh, that's what it is. And so he, so I got to know him, and he had a really beautiful girlfriend, and they were like getting, he just met her, and they were just moving in, and they were having to, learn about how to live with each other. And so I was, he said, well, she's doing this, and I'm doing, what should I do? Blah, blah, blah. So I kept giving him that advice. And then I said, how much do I pay you? And he said, what, you got paid? And I said, that's like, you're making them like thousands a week, and they're only paying you that much. I said, what you need to do is you need to get certified. Get your boss to send you up to all these little classes that take a weekend. That you become a Apple certified technician, you become a Microsoft certified technician, you become a Android certified, and he did. He got like 50. Once he gets into something, he does it the full Monty. So, he did that, and his boss loved it because he put these certificates up on the wall, right, showing how the guys who work there are really certified. So anyway. He was doing that. He's getting tighter with his girl, and he's a saver. So he worked there about a year, and he had saved a big chunk of change. And his brothers buy all these fancy cars, and they don't buy it. They just have credit and have to pay barely what it anyway. And he doesn't do anything. He's got a nice car that works that he bought for $900, and it still works. He cleans it, and it looks nice. And anyway. So he says, I think I'm going to buy some property. I said, this is the time to do it. This is like before the COVID. I said, the market's down, interest rates are like at zero. And so he did. He found, and he said, I wanted to take you sometime. So he took me into this town that was right on the main drag, and the things up towards the mountain, towards Boone, they were where all the rich people were moving in. But there was still the hood down below, right, on one side of the main drag. And right at this little peninsula, where the old main road was a little neighborhood, and it was still kind of in the hood, but not. And it was closer towards, where all the people who think they're rich live. And it was his house for like 22,000, 3 bedrooms, um, you know, 2,200 square feet, a gigantic garage, and on an acre and off the corner of the woods, right? And the road just past his house went straight into the main drag of the nice part of downtown. So that you could walk into downtown from his house. So I said, this is wonderful. So I helped him figure out the strategy of how to get it and what to do and da da da. So he bought it, right? And I said, now you got some equity, right? Buy another house. So he did. Another house. So he did. And this is still when like the interest rates were like 2%. And so he had one house and that he got it and he basically didn't put any real money on because it was a punked up house nobody wanted, had been on the market for a good deal of time. And so he got that. And then I said, now is to rejigger your interest rates because they're going down again. They're below 2%. So he did. And I said, when you're in the bank guy, ask him if he has anything in your neighborhood that they want to get rid of, that they're holding the paper for, before they auction it off. And there was another place. So we bought that and got a really good deal on that interest rate. And then between those two pieces of property, he bought it something else. That was commercial, right? Close to almost downtown. So this guy's 24, got 3 pieces of property. He decides he's going to marry his sweetie, and she's now overjoyed, and they're getting along great. And his nut is nothing. His nut is like maybe $800 a month, right? And he's taking. Now he is. I talked to his boss. I said, "This guy's certified. He's running 2 of your shops. He's making you $20,000 a week. You got to pay him." So he got jacked up to almost what he was worth. But at a certain point, then the COVID happened. And the business was still doing well, but it was, taking a toll on the guy who had it. And so he decided to sell out, right? And so, about a few months ago, the guy said, I'm going to lose my job. I said, don't worry about it, man. You look so great. All those certificates you have, you're manager of 2 stores, and stores are making like $20,000 a week, not a problem. So he went to all the kind of companies, not fix-it stores, but companies that manufacture. And he has the juice to do almost anything in micro technology. And so these guys want to hire him, and $70,000-$100,000 a year. But he didn't like the place. And he'd have to totally be under someone's thumb. He got used to being the manager. I said, so he says, I'm thinking of buying the guy out, and he wants X amount of money. I got all this property. I can use that as collateral. And I said, no, those are making you money, and they are, you almost own them, and it's nothing. No, break off and find a little store that's in your neighborhood. And so he had this commercial property, and there was one little part of it that, right? So he said, okay, yeah, but, So he didn't have to pay any rent, no electric bill, and his store is almost on the main drag, not quite, but and almost downtown on the backside. And he put up signs and flyers everywhere, and got signs in front of the place. And he's doing, almost as good as he did when he had the other place, but not. And the rents in those other 2 stores were like $3,000 a piece a month. So anyway, so he's doing pretty nice, right? So he's just, not worrying about anything. He's getting ready to get married. And I said, next thing you should buy is my place and or a place in Puerto Rico, which is where he came from. Right? So he's an American citizen, and he came here as a little kid with his parents, and his father did well, and his mother did well, and he did, went to public school and didn't want to go to college. His brothers did, and he sort of, it's a waste of time. Anyway, so this kid is 24, and he's got his life together, right? And he's dealt with all his issues, and he's 24, and he's moving ahead. He's moving forward, right? And He's one of my adepts, right? So if you want to give me a buzz, give me a call. Drop me a line at the dudawake42 at gmail, dudawake42 at gmail. Yes. Let's see. What is Jamie talking about? Lisa Haven. Okay, let's look at Lisa Haven. Lisa Haven's channel on the YouTube. Lisa Haven. There she is.
If you're over 64, do not pay for dental work ever again. Here's why.
Have no teeth.
Recent announcement of a new special.
Breaking report to share with you guys today regarding the events that transpired in Palestine, Ohio, where we have seen the trail derailment bring on one of the biggest environmental catastrophes that I believe that we've had here in the United States of America. And I don't believe that we have heard the end of the story. Right now, some of the information I have to share with you is a really creepy discovery that was made in a creek over near Palestine, Ohio, as well as Aaron Brockovich coming out and standing for the people there in East Palestine, and the fact that the EPA is allowing these waste hazardous shipments all over the United States of America. But as a quick reminder, check out my sponsor. If you guys have not tried this, C60 EVOs, I want to encourage you to do that. This has had a major benefit to my health. It's really helped me get a better immune system. It's really given me a little bit more energy. It's increased my hair growth, my nail and skin looks better. Also, it's also given me a deeper sleep. And great in the description box below. All right, so let's dive into this massive environmental disaster and just the latest of what's going on there. I've done quite a few reports on this, but I am really praying for those people, and my heart goes out. But let's start first with this latest information that came out about this rather bizarre and eerie discovery made by a young man there in East Palestine. Take a look at where I found it, and this is on Twitter. But let me play the clip of what he discovered here, and I want you to really listen closely to what he says.
Came down from East Palestine, wanted to follow the creek as it made its way down. This is the confluence where that turns into Little Beaver Creek and ultimately flows out into the Ohio River, which is right down there in the background. I did some testing here and I haven't found any of the same rainbow coloration and that popping that we saw further up creek. But what is scary, and I can't say for sure if this is connected or if it's just a coincidence, but it's a very odd coincidence. Right here, 3 dead deer within 50 yards of each other. One here, no gunshot wounds, no clear, visible wound. This one in particular is very odd. The eyes haven't been eaten out. This one hasn't been touched. Most of the time something dies, it's eaten almost immediately, especially the eyes and the soft tissue. Nothing is touching this, and that's a sign when the other animals know not to eat something. There are 2 other ones, one right up here under this bridge, and one right over there just past the power lines. Are they?
All right, so there you have it. He makes a couple really important points there. He says, we don't know how long, first of all, that these things have been dead. We don't know. However, if they have been dead for a little bit of time, then something would have been eaten on it already. But the carcass isn't being touched. The second thing that he points out there is there's no more rainbow-colored chemicals as it's heading towards the, into the stream to the Ohio River there. However, something bizarre is happening to these animals? Is it just a coincidence? I don't think so. Because, and I'll throw this up real quick as just an added 43,000 animals and fishes have died already. Take a look. This is USA Today. East Palestine train derailment killed more than 43,000 fish and animals, officials say. And now we've got some of the bigger animals dying as well up along the creek and not in the heart of East Palestine. So it really begs the question, is there something in the water? Maybe we don't witness or see those little rainbow colors. And if so, is it flowing into the Ohio River? And I think that's a real possibility, to be quite frank. And a lot of the times, our United States government, including those who are personally involved in the disaster, like Norfolk, right?
As I said a week ago, I mean, I don't know if I played it. I was talking to the academic, and he was going on and on about Scott, what's his name, and Putin's right, and we're wrong, and blah blah blah. And I said that's a distraction from what's really what's more important than that. It's Palestine. Well, yeah, we got to talk about Palestine. I said no. We got to talk about what's going on in our own country. This train disaster. What train disaster? I said the one in Ohio. What happened there? I didn't hear about it. Now this guy who says, I'm always informed about everything. You don't read anything. You don't know anything. You always say you don't know anything. And I explained to him that why we haven't seen anything for the first 2 weeks of this accident. What's that? The 5 big, large investment houses like, Black Diamond, owns all the media and owns the railroad. So they, and they own Donald Trump and Biden and every other politician. And so, they've gotten rid of all of the rules that were put in for safety by OSHA and EPA and the Transportation Department. And Buttigieg doesn't even know what the heck he's talking about. So he's talking about, the transgender train officers. Anyway, so it's like, really? Okay. Good luck with that. Right? So it gets back to this idea of justice. What is justice, right? So, everyone has to be on a level playing field. Well, how can it be when the billionaires own everything? There is no level playing field, right? And so there's social justice, and that's where, but that gets confused by ideology. Black Lives Matter. I mean, this guy who's a comic guy, I always thought he was a putz, but to go after him for just being a putz, and social justice is the balance for everyone, not just, if we just talk about, first of all, Black people have had the short shift. I mean, you have to realize race, gender, sexual orientation, these are all smokescreens to the real issue of class, who's in control. And that's the real social justice, when we have equity between those in control and everybody else. That's social justice. So, and that can only come through love's co-creation, where you serve not the holy dollar or the political structure or being woke. Forget about being woke. It's why don't you wake up? See, that's important to wake up, for you to be the decider. But it's being taken over by the ideological point of being woke or politically correct or any of those stupid means. So let's see. Yeah, strange days. Yep, that's for sure. Solar Tones. Hey, Solar Tones, good to see you. Eric. What? She's on the case. Yep. And people like, there was another woman, stop something. She was from California, and she was, upper middle class person, and everything was burning around on fire around her, and she started to see what was going on, and realized she was being screwed, and so she, went, overboard on it, and the bottom line was she burned herself out, and that's this Lisa girl. She's okay, but it's when you think you're right, when you have to, tell, be the firebrand. It's very easy for you to be the target. Anyway, so you can look at the wall for a while. Or I might play more of Lisa for you while I go ahead to the boys.
They're not going to be honest with us. They're not going to tell us the truth of what's really going on. And right now, we have got the okay from our leading officials that it's okay for people to go back to their homes. Yet the very residents that are going back to their homes are complaining of rashes, strange things in their voices, coughs and respiratory issues, and all of that. Take a look at some of these articles here. And here we have the Epoch Times. Residents say they've broken out in rashes after the East Palestine train derailment. And here's some of the things. There's a whole group of people who have experienced lots of different things. And I'm just going to give you kind of a brief. They've got nausea and rashes that have been reported. Here is a rash on somebody's, I believe, a rash on his left side, and also a low-grade headache. Other things that have been reported is swelling, runny nose, and watery eyes. Tongues feel like they've been scalded with hot water, and a lot of these things didn't happen until they got back to the area. So they'll go and the symptoms will relieve up a little bit, and they'll go back home and these symptoms will revive. At least those are some of the accounts of what is happening. We even have this account on New York Post. Sounds like Mickey Mouse. East Palestine residents shock illnesses after derailment. And this particular one talks about a guy there who he has a really squeaky voice after having been in the area. But again, they didn't tell us a lot of what on with other things. And a lot of the times the government doesn't tell you what happens till well after the fact. And I believe that this is absolutely one of those situations. The trust in the U.S. government has fallen to an all-time low. By the way, I haven't trusted them for a long time. But the good news is we've got some people standing on their side. As you know, Donald Trump came to the area, visited the people, brought water. And we also have a major activist from the past, if you will, who is raising her head again, and that is Erin Brockovich. Take a look at this article here, Cleveland.com. Erin Brockovich to residents of East Palestine. This is not a quick fix. Now, her gain to fame, if you will, she was portrayed in a movie with Julia Roberts, but Julia Roberts was portraying what happened in real life. But basically, Brockovich, who gained fame and was portrayed in a film for battling PG&E over groundwater that contaminated Hinckley, California. So basically, she went there, fought PG&E, and said, "You're not being truthful with the people in Hinckley, California," and because these people in Hinckley, California were getting tumors and cancers and all of them in this area. Meanwhile, PG&E lied to them. Well, she exposed this and she won a big battle for the people there in the area. Now she's out there fighting for the people of East Palestine. And here's what she said specifically about what's going on in East.
But you got to remember, that's going on all around the world all the time. If you're in Nigeria, and there's a place all around America this is happening. It's not on the, so if this is on the big screen, it is just another distraction for the other crap that's going on, and no one's seeing it all. You go into any city, you find where the poor people live, and that's where all the chemical dumps are. So, wake up. Forget about being woke. Wake up. Be true to yourself. Don't worry about what pseudonym you're supposed to run under. You be the decider, right? You're the key to your life. You learn to forgive yourself. You learn to love yourself. Then you can forgive others and love them. And when that starts to happen, that's when this planet will take off for the better. But until then, it's just going to be more of the same. Right? Now, I wish you all love and beauty. And how much juice is left in the old box? Well, 45%. Maybe when I drive back to my neighborhood, I'll go up on my neighbor's driveway and say hello again. But until then, because they're closing down here, they're like giving me to get out. So I have to go. I love you guys. Talk to you later.